my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jumoke. Nice to meet you. I'm a femininity coach and a woman's mentor. If you love videos like this, make sure that you do like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can continue to get more great content. Okay, so ladies, today we're going to talk about 5 boundaries that every feminine woman needs. Okay, 5 boundaries. Let's go. So the first boundary that you need as a feminine woman is boundaries with your time. There's a saying that says that the devil plays in an idle mind, but ladies, you have to have a start and an end time to the things that you do. If you're finding yourself just doing things like talking to people or whatever, just for 6 hours at a time, or just no type of boundaries whatsoever with your time, again, you're not going to get a cookie for being a martyr. All right, ladies, nice girls finish last. Really, the women that go far are women who know how to say no and have boundaries. You don't have to be rude about it, but you have to value yourself and value your time so much to the point that you make boundaries around it. Everyone and everything should just not have full access to your time. You need to just know how to say no. Even within my ministries and my friends, they think that I'm always extremely busy, and it's not that I'm extremely busy, I'm just productive, but they just know that okay, she values her time. So if she's giving me some part of her time, people are more likely to value your time because you value your time. So when you get on the phone with someone or you're about to do something, you need to be able to say, okay, I only got half an hour, or I only have 10 minutes, or I only have 1 hour, and being able to manage your time effectively. Of course, if it's your close friends, that's your close friends. But when it comes to just general people or just general things, tasks or whatever, try to have a start and an end time. Okay. So the next boundary that every feminine woman needs is boundaries around her gifts, but also understanding that your identity is not in your gift. So whether you have a gift of mercy, teaching, encouragement, maybe you have a musical talent, or you like to serve at church, you have a gift of serving, or not even just at church, just anywhere. You have to have boundaries around your gift because, again, boundaries show that you understand your value. And when you understand what is within you, you put boundaries around it and you do not give it out freely. If you're holding on to a diamond, you don't just give it out as if it's glitter. Okay, and that's the way you have to see what you carry. So a lot of you know that I do Christian dream interpretation, that I consult and I coach people in the area of dream interpretation. I remember just at different points in time, people would try to villainize me like,
oh, how dare you charge for something, but you're a Christian and blah, 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 blah.
And I'm just like, And I think so many people, they allow others to shame them and to accept and to tolerate abuse. But that is an abuse of gifts. That's using someone for their gifts and not trying to compensate them. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you're a Christian or if you're non-Christian, what you're holding is valuable. Your time and your expertise is valuable. Even things like dream interpretation, I spent years studying that. Just because I don't have a piece of paper, who the heck is going to go to work for free? The Bible says that a worker is due their wages. Maybe you and I are reading 2 different Bibles, but that's what the Bible says to me, that you should not muzzle an ox while it feeds. So, so you have to be able to think about things like that. So if someone is coming to you and constantly and you're constantly consulting and coaching people or whatever the case is in a particular area, if you're sitting here spending 6 hours on the phone every single day consulting and encouraging people in the same thing, then you need to put a price around it, or you need to put a boundary, a time boundary around it. Because there's no way, at least for me, I was not going to sit here 5 people a day. So you expect me for 8 to 10 hours to just be interpreting people's dreams for free because I'm a Christian. Lie, God forbid. Anyways, next one. Physical boundaries. All right, so I learned this one from a friend. And my friend, she's beautiful, but she has a very nice figure. And she has physical boundaries simply because she didn't like the fact that people had just direct access to her and felt like they could touch her because of how she looked. And I said, hey, that's very good. Yeah, I want to something. That's good. But yeah, so she's okay with people touching her, but she says touch with consent. And I said, I lied down one. So now in my own interpersonal relationships, I always ask people, can I touch you? Can I hug you? Can I kiss you on your forehead? I'm someone who's very, very affectionate, but just asking people if I can touch them, even little kids. I think little kids should be taught physical boundaries as well. So asking a child, can I hold you? Can I carry you? Who's old enough to speak, and allowing them to be like, yes, and just giving them that sense of autonomy at a young age. I think it's really important. But for you ladies, you need to have some type of physical boundaries. Like, you're not a petting zoo. People should not have just any access to touch you. Even Jesus Christ, he didn't just people touching him. He's like, who touched me? And you have to be able to have that type of physical boundary. Okay. So next is boundaries around your consumption. Okay. So if you're someone who is maybe new to your feminine journey, or you're trying to grow, you're trying to advance, you need to have a boundary around what you consume. You need to guard your heart. Okay. So you can't just consume things willy-nilly. I think it's very unhealthy that the first thing that you do when you wake up is scroll on social media. And I always tell the women in my ministry, no Bible, no breakfast. But you have to have self-control, which is part of the fruit of the Spirit. And you have to be able to just be like, okay, let me have some type of boundary around my consumption and what I'm consuming on social media. And y'all, this may be an unpopular opinion, but it is okay to unfollow people. No one wants to hear that. And even for me, Seth, I'm villainized because I put boundaries around social media and my interpersonal relationships, or whatever the case is. And people may villainize you. People are going to misunderstand you. Definitely do check my video out on people pleasing to give you a bit more help in this area. So if you are consuming information, or you're following people who are fueling maybe certain unfeminine behaviors or mindsets than you have, unfollow. Okay? If people are fueling certain soul wounds and certain insecurities that you have, then unfollow. If you're trying to grow and love your body, why are you following Kim Kardashian? You're comparing your body to her, and she had plastic surgery. Like, it's okay to unfollow. Like, I know you want to keep up with the Kardashians, but you can't unfollow, unsubscribe. So yes, definitely when it comes to your consumptions, you need to have a boundary around that. And the last boundary that you need is boundaries in your space. Okay, so as a feminine woman, you need to have limits. You cannot just buy things, and things are not orderly, things are not of good value, you're not really in love with the things that you have. But having boundaries around your space just to keep things orderly, keep things tidy, but also to overcome things like poverty. Okay, so I'm not saying that you need to be a minimalist by any stretch of the imagination, but still, if things cannot fit orderly and organized into your closet, you probably have an issue with poverty and letting things go because of the fear of lack, which you may need to, really sit and dig and actually break that off. But it's a fear of lack. But don't just bring things into your space just because. If it's ugly, if it's cheap, if you don't like it, get rid of it. If you haven't worn something in 10 years, why do you still have it? Some of y'all have stuff from middle school, from elementary school. Get rid of that thing. Like, what's going to happen if you get rid of it? And you have to live in such a way that the things that you have are the things that you love. But just having boundaries around your space, feminizing your space, is extremely important as well. So those are my 5 boundaries that I wanted to share with you that every feminine woman needs. Do you have any other boundaries that you would like to share? Make sure you do put it in the comment section, and we can all have a conversation and we can just learn from one another. If you're a woman that definitely needs help in developing certain personal boundaries and you want to level up in your femininity journey, definitely do schedule a discovery call with me. All the information will be in the description box. And lastly, if you're a woman in the Atlanta area, my ministry, Single on Purpose, is having a hybrid conference in Atlanta and online. So definitely do get your tickets. We're going to have amazing speakers, sessions. All the information will be on our Eventbrite. So definitely do check that out. All right, guys, until next time. Bye.